just stand there teasing me. Now it's time.
If you're Nigerian, you've heard the term Detty December, but you most likely would have to be in Lagos to experience it for real. And it's usually, I believe, the biggest tourist attraction or draw for this city, whether you like it or not, the number of people who fly in just to have a great time here. But this year is, I don't know what it looks like, especially with the way the pocket is dry. But there's also no fuel and the traffic, oh my goodness. The last week, I don't know how people were able to get around, but it's been quite insane. I have here with me Aisosa Okunda, who's a communications professional, to help us understand if this year is any different. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Is this December dirty enough, you think?
It can only get dirtier.
There are concerts everywhere. There's a lot happening.
It can only get dirtier.
Yeah.
Like you said, I mean, we've gotten to a point where Dirty December has become cultural for us.
Yeah.
So you have every artist doing their own shows this time, right? You have the usual big brands doing bigger shows. But there's definitely a lot of stain.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting stain this December, and it's affecting everything. Like you said, it's in traffic, it's in people trying to move between work and home. It's almost like right now in Lagos, the traffic time has changed. So now you're in daytime traffic, but there's also like nighttime traffic.
So it's like there's constantly just no movement.
Yes.
And away from that a bit, I saw Basil, who's big in the music industry, management and all, talk about the fact that a lot of concerts are having trouble with the sales of tickets. And, you know, it goes back to what I started with, you know, about just the way the economy is right now. In the past, you could dispense with 15, 20, 30K to go see your favorite artist. Today, we're even seeing tickets of, I mean, Ashake's concert has been quite heavy and a lot of people.
If you're a diehard,
you know, so it's like, how is that affecting the Dirty December, and especially in the coming years? Because this is supposed to be like a tradition now. Is it dying, you think?
I don't think. I think it's moving with the times, right? I mean, when we look at back then at when shows were being done by, you know, older guys, it wasn't at this rate. Right? It wasn't at this price. But now, I mean, with the economy, like you said, it really does impact it. People can't spend as much as they would like to. People that actually have to decide how they want to spend it. Do I want to really go and spend that money and basically stand up in exactly, right? So it is that. It definitely affects. And I just would like to say that people will still go out.
Yeah, of course. People are, which is why there's traffic.
If you also look at the fact that we're coming from, you know, at this point, post-pandemic, people were restricted.
Hold up for quite a while.
So there's all that built-up sentiment on the inside that's going to just really influence people's decision to do
So,
things.
I mean, for people who want to still have fun, but like you said, don't have all that much of a disposable income to do it, what are some of the activities you've seen or you've heard about that could be an attraction away from sort of the big money spenders?
I mean, go to the beach, spend time with family, spend time with loved ones. That's really what it's about. It's rarely about the place, it's more about how you choose to spend time. So, like, do these simple things. Hang out with your family for holiday, right? Like, be intentional about how you choose to spend time. You don't have to go to like the big shows because you cannot afford it. Nobody's going to tell you to go and steal, right? But make time out and do special things with your family in your own way and just have a good time.
Yeah.
It's the holiday season.
Why do you think this Dirty December culture has not left Lagos in Nigeria? Because Abuja once in a while will have one or two things, but that's probably the only other place I hear, you know, that these things happen. In the East, people just go back home to have their usual, you know, traditional weddings and, you know, housewarmings and all of that. Do you think it's something that can spill out of Lagos? Because there's a lot of revenue to be made.
Oh, of course.
And Lagos is probably too small for all that wants to happen.
I think that it will happen in time. I think there's also a time factor, right? I think that it has begun in Lagos gradually to expand to other states. That may take as long as it will take, we can't really say, but it definitely is fun. That's why people will indulge in it, right? And fun is something that is quick to spread. So if it's going to work in Lagos, we'll try Benin next year. Yeah. We'll try Ibadan next year. Before you know the next thing, we're doing maybe 36. 36
Dirty December.
36
I mean,
Dirty
Accra has stolen one of them.
Oh my God. We'll get it back.
We'll have to get it back.
Yeah.
But speaking of concerts now, they're quite controversial sometimes. You know, you hear all of this talk about people either not even showing up at all, or sometimes coming too late, and you wonder, was this even worth it? You know, and I've always been an advocate of the government. I mean, people people might not like that because they say whatever government puts their hand in something, they ruin everything.
Yeah.
But I also believe that that's why Accra became what it became, because government, especially on the presidential level, became intentional about making Accra this hub in December. You know, is there not some way to put some structure to December in Lagos and make it an actual revenue earner? The rest of the world goes to sleep in December.
True.
Lagos is one of the few places where it's a complete opposite. How do we draw people here in a way that, you know, it becomes something structural? I don't know if I'm making sense.
We have to use the power of storytelling, and this is where my profession will come into play, right? We are a fun-loving people. It's December. We can make it our own thing, right? We can always do little things to pull people, build it into the tourism thing. Let it be that every December, Nigeria is lit.
Which it is.
Right, exactly, which is it. But now we just need to tell that story more and tell it more positive. And there is always the role that government has to play, right? And that's just creating an ecosystem, because that's what the government really is. I feel like the function of government really does. You create an ecosystem that allows things to thrive. Whatever, you know, sector in the economy will thrive, but the creation of that ecosystem is the function of the government. So policies from, you know, determine how long a show can go or what are the reasons for a show that can close a show, those things have to be put into consideration. And then maybe like a policy that would also take into consideration the event promoters as well. You run shows, what are the big challenges you have? Yeah. Your artist is showing up late. Should we now put like a proper legal structure, say, hey, you show up 10 minutes late, you give full refund plus 50%.
Yeah.
Right?
Because everywhere else around the world, at least outside Africa, they show up on time.
They do actually, and if you miss that time, you will miss the show.
Yeah.
It really is what the culture is. But I mean, it would be a great plus if we had that kind of structure in Nigeria. And I think that once again, time. We're getting better. We cannot forget that as a nation we're progressive.
Yeah.
If you look at where we're coming from and where we are, we know that we have where we're going to.
Yeah.
Right. So the same thing.
What about investment in venues? Because it looks like that's one thing we lack.
We'll have to get bigger venues. I can tell you that for sure. The crowds are getting bigger. Like you said, if we're doing 36, 30 Decembers, we cannot all be using one place. We need to create spaces, ecosystem again. Create the venues and the centers. I mean, if you look at centers outside the country, like Staples, you're hearing like, what, 50,000?
Yeah. It's like,
here, we don't really want to cause traffic, but we don't really have an option.
Maybe when the trains start running.
Maybe when the trains start running.
What are you looking forward to in December? Anything in particular this December? I mean, this is a real dirty week now we're getting into.
Yes, this is the real dirty week. We've been getting preamble since. I'm excited for... I have one concert I'm really excited for.
Okay.
It's Victoria's concert.
Oh, nice. He had a good year.
I'm super excited. I don't know why, but I'm super excited for his concert. I just want to see what his performance would be and how he would kill it. So I'm really excited for that one.
Yeah.
That one.
Well done, man. Good luck with the traffic.
Good luck.
I don't know how bad this week is going to be, but if last week was a precursor to what's to come, I know that once it's Christmas Day, after that, things taper down. But everybody, just be careful out there, man. And you know you don't have a lot of fuel to burn. So if you don't have anywhere to really be, just stay at home. So that those that have somewhere to go can see road to pass.
There.
Yeah. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you
and
for
have a great December and Merry Christmas. All right, thank you very much for joining us. Like I always say, you can follow the conversation on social media. Please use the hashtag Rubbin Minds when you send us a message. I will see you next Sunday.
Don't just stand there teasing me. Now